Welcome to GBIRL, the podcast looking at the real business world of esports, gaming, and streaming with the people and personalities behind it all. Here is your host, Bill the Conqueror.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Streaming is huge. We know that. I stream, the person you see right there on screen. She also streams. But what I wanted to talk about today and kind of explore is sort of the question behind, is there space for people like myself? I'm almost 50. I just turned 49 years old a couple months ago. Is there space on Twitch for people like myself? And the person you see on the screen right there, she is GBIRL. She's about my age, in the same sort of vicinity. We share a lot of common experiences from our youth. We talk about like times like oh, I don't know, before the internet. That does have that there was actually a world that existed before the internet, strange as it might sound. But anyway, today I have with me GBIRL. She is a Twitch streamer, creator, streams also on YouTube and Facebook gaming. I have done as well, and I wanted to get her perspective because she is a smart, experienced individual who has done a lot of things in her life, and I want to get her thoughts on this. GBIRL, thank you very, very much for making time for me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so just a little background. I'm trying to think back to how we met. I think we ran. This is a while back. I have to really scour my brain. I think we ran a raid with Journey John. And
that's exactly it.
Okay, yeah. So Journey John and we ran a raid, and we're like, hey, we had this other person that's GBIRL. I'm like, all right, great. I don't care. Let's just run a raid. And then that sort of evolved into the two of us getting to know each other. I hung out on one of your late night wine YouTube 80s video streams. And
I miss those. We're going to figure out how to revive those in Discord, and I'm trying to get watch parties going now. So like tonight we're going to do Firefly in my server. But yeah, I miss the music videos because a lot of us are X-Geners in my community. Yes. And the younger folks enjoy it. They're like, what is this? But like they enjoy the stuff that we watch. But yeah, man, getting drunk on stream and rocking out to music videos. I remember one night I did that, and I went around Saturday morning checking in on different streams and saying hi to friends, and everybody was like, die. Last night, that was one of the best streams I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's interesting to reintroduce the younger generation, and this is going to sound like you darn kids get off my lawn, but it's always good to introduce the younger generation to a time when it was like hairspray and spandex, and some of the older 80s videos you watch, you just kind of go, oh my god,
so great.
Oh my god,
I love them.
I know, and I remember the time. I remember the day that MTV launched. I watched the MTV launch live. I watched it happen, and I watched it go down, and I think about how MTV has evolved, and also what you and I are directly involved with here when it comes to creating content, streaming on Twitch. There's several other viable platforms. Facebook gaming is becoming more and more viable, and YouTube.
Are they viable?
See, here's the thing. I think they are, but not for this content. Facebook is the primary internet portal for the rest of the world that isn't North America. And so, if you go anywhere else in the world, if you go to the South Asia Pacific area, you're talking Thailand, Laos, New Zealand, Australia, the Oceanic region. If you go to India, South America,
there's a lot of Australians on Twitch.
Exactly. Yes.
So my issue with Facebook is how they've infiltrated into people's lives.
Yes.
I do not have Facebook app on my phone. Never did. Never trusted them. And that's the key. A lot of people don't trust Facebook, and a lot of gamers, I don't care what your political persuasion are, a lot of gamers don't trust Facebook. We also enjoy anonymity, and it's not because It's not because I'm afraid of someone knowing my opinion. I mean, you see my face, you hear my voice. I share my opinion quite freely.
Yes.
It's because of how I'm gonna just dive right into it, Bill.
Sure, go for it.
We've got a lot of psychological issues in the content creation world. A lot of people who watch.
Yeah.
There are people who don't have moral standards that guide them through life and how to deal with people they don't like. And so you get this aggression and sometimes a danger. So, Dr. D had someone do a drive-by of his house one day.
Yeah.
We've had people who were doxxed and people who were attacked, stalked. There's a reason why we don't use our real names. And it's pretty easy to find out someone's real name. Let's be real.
It is.
But we don't need to make it easier for people. And also, when you name yourself, sometimes there's meaning to that. I've seen people rebrand on Twitch who were like, oh, I want to take streaming more seriously, and then they disappear after 6 months. But they do the rebranding, and it's kind of funny how some of us do have an identity that's rooted, like our name is rooted in our identity. Like my name, GBIRL, is basically a translation of my real name. My last name means bear. My first name is Diane. People call me Di in real life. So, if you, the only problem with that is when we're playing a video game and my teammates looking at an enemy and they're like, die, and I'm like, what? No, that's not what happened. That happened the other day too.
Right.
No, I was telling the enemy to die. I'm like, oh, okay, got you.
Right.
But I've been GBIRL since 1997 when I created my first email account.
Wow.
When I was at my first college.
Wow.
It just made sense.
Well, and so okay, it's right there. You're talking about having some level of I guess space, anonymity between you and your online persona. I think I just saw a video where XQC had to move because he was being stalked. And
that's possible. That's a whole nother world on Twitch too.
Exactly. And you have people who figure out where streamers live and they swat them. I mean, like, hello, that's like ultra dangerous. But I mean, for people like us, for people that are older and remember, like, for example, dial-up internet. Oh my goodness, I still have that
56K modems yesterday.
I mean, I still have that
was all the rage. Dude, I got a 56K modem.
Dude, I am.
And then someone else would be like, yeah, well, I just upgraded to ISDN.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But so as here's something that I keep pondering. As TV dies, because TV is slowly dying off to streaming services, because
I don't watch TV.
Right. Yeah. I cut my cable several years ago. Best move ever. I can find 99% of what I want to watch on YouTube anyway. So it doesn't. Having cable TV is good for major sporting events, major breaking news maybe, but that's honestly about it. So as TV dies and these streaming services, Peacock, Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu, you name it, someone has a streaming service.
I love how they call it Peacock too. Like they're trying so hard to rebrand because nobody likes NBC.
Nobody likes NBC. And, but I mean, so the question becomes, as brands have to find different ways to connect with people. Is there space on Twitch? Now, I know there's YouTube and Facebook gaming. There's Trovo. There's Glimish.
Oh, just ask the question. The question.
Okay.
Bill. Come on, let's get to it.
Is there space on Twitch for people like you and I who are over 40, who have a vast array of life experience, who have a perspective of, okay, well, this actually happened in 1996, here's how it went down. Be like, whoa, stuff existed before the internet? How did that I mean, is there space for people like is there space for people like you and I?
I have a long answer. If you let me get it out.
I will stop.
There's a lot to this answer.
Do it.
First of all, Facebook is not Facebook. Wow. Yeah, Facebook, forget that. Twitch is not the end game. It's the means to an end.
Okay.
I know you follow Harris Heller and Devin Nash like I do.
Yep.
And Devin Nash has quit streaming on Twitch. He doesn't like what it's become. and I know we're probably gonna touch on some of the issues why later on.
Yep.
I have a lot of different ideas about Twitch and what I don't like about it. What I do love about it is I built a community that I love. I love my community, and we get new people all the time. And some of them stick around and they become strong pillars of the community, and others just kind of, go off when they get bored, or they decide that, well, the streamer doesn't really align with what I believe, which who cares? So when it comes to older streamers, there is a grandmother who does quite well. And then I know another grandmother who was featured on her local news station. Her name is Mima, the geeky granny. She was part of my first stream team, which was True Gaming.
Wow.
And she does really well. I mean, I think she still gets like 20 to 30 views, maybe more now. And she does I forgot what it's called, where you have like, she looks like a cat on stream, and it's adorable.
Oh, did she do a VTubing?
Yeah, so that is what it's called now, right? But they have like a face rig or something on stream. That's what they esteem. So there are older people on Twitch, and I don't think it's an ageism thing. Now, I will say I don't understand why some of the content is popular. A lot of it is incredibly shallow, and now we have softcore porn coming onto Twitch.
Oh my God.
Which needs to go. I think what it comes down to is what you and I both know as blue oceans. And a lot of our viewers aren't going to know that because they're not business students or they don't have business degrees. So blue ocean is when you are in a marketplace, and we are in a market on Twitch. We're all vying for viewers. A blue ocean is when you come up with an idea that's different from what's out there. And so while a lot of your older streamers, there aren't a lot of us, but a lot of us middle-agers, us X-Geners, the original video game generation,
that's right, are
getting older. We come from a different culture. We didn't have the social issues that people are really butthurt over now. Those weren't, they didn't really exist in the 80s. So we're looking at you people like you're crazy. And I think we're serving as anchors in the community. We have more stability. But at the same time, we're going to be very firm with you when you come to our streams. If you act like a jerk, you're out. Like, I have no problem banning people. Trolls don't stick around in my stream much anymore because one guy will come in and say something like, Mom, and I know that when you say mom in my stream, you're a troll. I've been doing this for 4 years.
Right.
I will ban you. All of a sudden, his 4 friends that usually travel in packs of 5 or so, then his friends will be like, dude, don't talk to her like that. And then they leave. I don't have to ban all 5, just 1.
Right.
Because they know, oh, wow, this streamer's not going to be fun. They're not going to give me YouTube content. And a lot of people I'm finding, the people in my community have been there for so long because, one, they like the authenticity. And while they know that I'm very strong about my beliefs, both political, religious, and whatever life experience beliefs, they know that as long as they are their authentic selves and they're respectful of other people's beliefs, meaning you don't have to agree with people, folks, but you're okay with people thinking differently than you or seeing the world differently. That's called confidence. These folks come into my community and they love it because they like people just being real. They don't want to be manipulated or backstabbed.
Right.
They want to know that even though they may not agree with the streamer, they're loved. They're part of the community, and they really are. And that's my brand. That is, I have a vision, mission, and values on my Twitch page that explains. I set up basically like a business plan for my Twitch stream, and you can go look at that stuff. That's textbook what I did. And I'll read through it every now and again, especially whenever someone comes into my channel or my community and they try to disrupt it. And there's been some disruptions.
Yep.
I would go back to the vision, mission, and values. And that's exactly why you have those things, guys. And that reminds you, the community leader, what you stand for.
Right.
And hey, not everyone has to like you. This person over here has issues. They're obviously not a good fit for the community. And I've said that to people directly. Hey, it seems to me like you're not a good fit for this community. If this is what you're looking for, there are other streamers out there who will accommodate you. And sometimes it does come down to a ban. I've been outright harassed by people. I've had people try to cancel me. I'm a small streamer. They try to cancel me. And I fight. I don't hide when people try to cancel me. I will fight back. I will make your life a living hell to the extent that you keep coming at me. Once you go away, we're done. So don't mess with me. You can't cancel me. I don't give a flying you know what, if you like me or not.
Right.
And I'm not going to change my beliefs or values because you try to bully me. what I've learned on Twitch is you've got a lot of people who there's a lot of narcissism, there's a lot of depression, there's a lot of insecurity. Oh my gosh. And these people will come after you and try to feed on you. I call them energy vampires. And that's exactly what a narcissist is.
Yes.
They will try to suck your life force out of you. And these people come to you as in the form of a friend, usually. They will love bomb you, tell you how great you are. And it makes me very uncomfortable when people start throwing a bunch of compliments at me. That's a red flag.
Yep.
And usually those people don't get to stay in my community for long. Or they will play the victim card. Those people definitely are not allowed in my community. Woe is me. I've got an autoimmune disorder every single day. And we do talk about issues. I'm an aging female gamer going through what women go through in their 40s. It sucks. Yep. I cry a lot more now. I was just talking with another person about this the other day. I'm like, dude, I used to never cry. My emotions are crazy. Right. And it's normal. But like, I will go on a BRB. I now take 3 days off. I'll do like video editing or interviews or something that's not live streaming. You need to take care of yourself, but I am very real about what I'm going through, but I'm not asking for people to be like, oh, GBIRL, I know you poor thing. No, don't do that. I hate that. I'm not a victim. I share my struggles for 2 reasons. It helps other people who are going through it to recognize that this is a normal thing in life.
Right.
It also shows people how I'm dealing with it so they can get ideas with how to deal with it. But when it comes to the emotional aspect, I hate being an emotional basket case. I hate it. I'm an INTJ. It doesn't work, but hey, hormones. It's again, it helps people to understand where I'm coming from that day. And sometimes I do and say things that I don't mean, and I can be a bitch. It happens. And when I come back to a more stable mental place, a more stable emotional place, then I could talk about it and be like, dude, I'm sorry. I was in a bad state that day. You know, and my community understands it because I'm real with them.
Right.
They also will kick your ass if you hurt me. Oh my God, there are people in my community who are
I have the exact same thing.
Who are older than me, dude. Like, don't.
Yeah. I'm really fortunate. I'm fortunate just like you. I have a bunch of good people that I hang out with, and I rarely have to fight back because a lot of people do it for me. So I totally get what you're saying there. And
I usually just go for the banhammer, but yeah, when someone was attacking me last year, and I know you know that situation.
Yeah.
This person wasn't even on my radar, and my community was coming to me and giving me screenshots, and they're like, "Dude, what is this person saying these things about you?" And it's like,
yeah,
you know, whatever. You know, I can't. I contacted a few people to try to tell this person to cease and desist because they also blocked me thinking I was going to be like them. That's another thing. There's a lot of projection on Twitch.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that you're going to act like them. I don't go after people. Like I said, if you come after me, I'm going to meet you there.
Right.
But if I don't like you, I unfollow. I unsub. I unfollow your tweets. And we had someone who got partnered last year who was doing a lot of race baiting on his stream.
Yeah.
And it turned into race stuff on his Twitter. People were trolling him, saying derogatory things that they shouldn't be saying. I don't care who you are. And he would post it up on Twitter, and he's like, I'm just going to stay strong. And it's like, dude, stop talking about it. These people, you're giving them exactly what they want by talking about what they're doing to you.
Right.
And I couldn't handle it anymore. I couldn't handle the race baiting, and I couldn't handle him constantly posting these negative things. He was giving the trolls what they wanted, and I was like, this is too toxic for me. And I think he's a good dude, but I was tired of seeing it.
Right.
So I unfollowed. I didn't go after him and treat him like shit.
Okay.
Excuse my language.
That's okay. That's totally fine. Don't worry about it. And so that right there, that the whole sequence, that speaks directly, I think, to the value that people like you and I bring, is that we have the maturity to not constantly have to.
With age comes wisdom.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you're in your 20s, you're not that mature, guys. You're still kids. I know a lot of people get offended. Like, I've had 18-year-olds tell me, I'm a man. And I'm like, you're not acting like one.
No.
And you've got a lot to learn in life. And I didn't even start to really know who I was until, like, my real identity, not what I look like. We're talking my soul. Right. Who I am at my core being. It has nothing to do with being a woman or being a streamer. I mean, the streamer is an outlet for who I am, but it's not my identity. I didn't start to really learn who I was until I was in my 30s. And I see so many people in their 20s who are just lost. And this is why we're seeing a lot of controversies on Twitch, because you have all these younger women who have nobody to look up to, who are streaming and being taken advantage of by young men who don't know how to act. You've got way too much power in the hands of people who aren't mature enough to handle it. And you start to see people really change when they get into their 30s. And I think 30 is really a good age to start getting into something like content creation, because then you start to be more grounded in who you are, and you can do what I did. You know, I have my vision, mission, and values. And
Right.
it's not just getting older, folks. I'm educated. I went for an MBA. I took a ton of management courses through my employer at the same time. I've struggled through a lot of different interactions. As an INTJ, whenever something bad happens between me and another person, I don't just go, oh man, that sucks. I research people and how they act and the psychology behind it, because I'm trying to understand what happened so I can fix it. And sometimes I can't fix it because sometimes I learn it's not me, it's them. But there's a lot, sometimes several weeks of research that goes into that. So the reason why I'm grounded and I have the wisdom is because I was open to learning experiences. Bad experiences are opportunities to learn about yourself and people. And when you're in your 20s, you haven't really struggled through that stuff. You're still just trying to be happy with who you are and what you are. Like I suffered depression in my 20s. It sucked, dude. I would never go back. Never. Would I go back to my 30s? 30 was great. It was great. But dude, life is a journey. Do you really want to undo what you've done? Would you really go back? Seriously,
Nah.
my 30s were hard. I suffered a recession. I'm still going through financial issues. It's just also my 30s is when I decided to go off on my own and work for myself.
Okay.
You develop strength, and now in my 40s, hopefully my 40s will be fine-tuning my life and actually creating some stability, just in supporting myself. And we're over halfway to monetization on YouTube. Like,
Right, yeah.
I'm lining things up, Bill, to try to get them in place, and my community has been incredibly supportive of it. And as a content creator, as an older content creator with a business degree,
Right.
I use everything I have to focus on getting to my end game. And if you are a disruption to me, this is where the age and wisdom thing comes in. If you're disruption, you're gone. There's no pay. You're not going to derail my dreams. It's not going to happen.
See, and that is what comes with age, is not just the ability to see opportunity, but also discern what doesn't fit with where you are. And one of the things that I learned in psychology is that you not only have to have positive reinforcement to create the behavior that you want, but you need to create hard parameters around the variations in behavior that you want. So what works and what doesn't work. And this goes back to a business concept of who are you and who are you not. I remember a story about Sprint many years ago. They technically fired like 10 to 15,000 customers from their cell phone service, because those customers were just needy, constantly calling up for.
Really?
Yes. Sprint actually let a bunch of them go out of their contracts. Thank you very much. We cannot serve your needs. Go find.
Firing is not unheard of, but to do a mass firing of customers, that's wow. I know doctors fire patients all the time.
Exactly. And they're like,
I've fired clients because, again, they were too needy and they weren't focused on the end goal.
Exactly.
They just needed to suck your energy out of you, and they didn't have the strength to take your advice and actually use it properly. They were incredibly lazy. And I've always been in the service industry in some way, shape, or form, like helping people get through things, especially as a former job and life coach. And if you couldn't do your part, I learned that by walking away from people, that strengthened them. And I had a homeless client when I worked for the government.
Wow.
Who was willing to do anything until I actually started giving him solutions over the phone just to try to get the ball rolling.
Right.
I can't do that. And then he'd give me an excuse. And finally, after hearing like 15 excuses and exhausting all of my resources, I was like, I can't help you. I'm sorry, sir. Unless you can do this, we can't get this done. And unless you can do this, we can't get this done.
Right.
I suggest you contact the VA homeless program, take a bus down there, and they'll take you in.
Right.
He calls me the next day and says, I decided I want to work with you. Okay, are you willing to do this? Yes, I will do that.
Wow.
So we got that guy off the streets and back into truck driving. And to this day, he's doing great, to my knowledge. He followed up with me 1 and 2 years after the fact, and he was doing great. Yeah. Guys, the only person who can help you is yourself.
It is. Now, when it comes to streaming and content creation, do you think that Twitch is... So from a creator standpoint, you and I, older creators, we don't suffer drama, we don't suffer fools. We know what we want, we know the direction that we want to go. Does Twitch does Twitch have the best tools and opportunity, or do you think there are better opportunities for growth for people like you and I on other platforms? Facebook gaming, YouTube, Trovo.
YouTube.
Yeah, see, and I'm of the same vein as you are. I don't
care about the other things. I've checked them all out. They're all trash. I like Twitch because I think it has the best live streaming interactions. Excuse me, allergies. YouTube streaming, I hate doing it. It's not fun, and also the setup is crazy, and I need a new processor, so having to have my browser open while streaming something like Call of Duty is a no-go.
Okay.
Sometimes I have to pull up a different computer to even have a browser open. I have a Surface Pro.
Okay.
Yeah, things have gotten very CPU heavy, and I think part of it's Windows because last week's update lessened the load a little bit.
Okay.
So I think Windows is the real culprit. So with Twitch, I love the Twitch tools for the actual live stream. The only problem, there's 2 problems with Twitch. One is discoverability. We've all heard it.
Yes.
Excuse me. The other is culture. Twitch is very strong in its culture, and in my opinion, it is their service is to provide a platform for artists / content creators.
Okay. And
it's not up to them to censor you, and that's exactly what they do. Some of the bans I've seen, like with Destiny, he's a leftist. He's a very far leftist content creator who, in spite of his overall political ideology, has said some things that Twitch didn't agree with, and I think he got his partnership revoked.
Oh. Okay.
Which is ridiculous. I would go watch some of his clips because I like to keep my ear to the ground when it comes to certain content creators, because 1, it's a learning experience for me, and 2, I like to know what's going on because, well, it's a learning experience for me.
Right.
And I've never seen him say anything that was bannable, in my opinion. Seriously, we need to stop being butthurt. I don't think it's up to them to protect creators by creating these ridiculous showboating committees of content creators who belong to certain marginalized groups. No. You have given us the tools to ban certain words in chat. We can ban people. We can have moderators. It is 100% the content creator's responsibility to control their own community. And what Twitch should be focusing on, instead of telling us what words to say and what things to talk about. And another thing, I don't like that you can't talk about people who have been banned from Twitch on your Twitch stream. There's so much censorship on Twitch, things we can't talk about.
Wait.
Well, hold on.
Okay, good. Go.
So much censorship that, again, I think this is out of what they should be allowed to do. It's like AT&T telling me, Bill, if I call you on my phone, I can't talk to you about certain issues. This is a town hall. I do 100% agree in freedom of speech. And I think the Trump lawsuit that was recently brought up, if that is successful against Twitter and Facebook, that will probably change how Amazon looks at its relationship on its social platforms with its customers. It will probably dictate whether or not they can tell us what to say. Now, as far as discoverability goes, getting to the technical aspect of it, Twitch is trash. I
Yes.
have lots of great VODs on there that no one will ever find. And now what's funny about the VODs too is they're only available to my subscribers now because of the person who tried to cancel me last year. So you need to be a subscriber in order to see uh my past stuff. It's not because I'm trying to get your money. It's because I'm protecting myself.
Right.
And with YouTube, I'm finding I love the YouTube community because they are more focused on the content rather than having me validate their lifestyle. I am not going to validate you. I may agree with you on some things, but the only person who can validate you is yourself. We're getting back to this personal responsibility thing. But with YouTube, if I make a good video and it sparks people to like and comment, YouTube will be like, wow, people are watching, liking, and commenting. I'm going to show this to more people. And I remind my viewers of that too. Please like and comment.
Right.
So my videos are shown to more people. And I just had like a 2,000 view video again recently.
Yeah.
And I'm doing more interviewing and gamesy things that instead of just showing people like Destiny gameplay, I'm talking about things that are controversial to try to get those views and those subs so I can get monetized on YouTube. But if you make good content on YouTube, you will be found. You will grow.
Right.
There are great resources out there to learn how to do it. It's on you. It's nobody else's fault if you don't grow. On Twitch, excuse me, on Twitch, it's all about clout chasing, in my opinion.
Yep.
It's about who you know. I've been streaming for 4 years. I have very loyal viewers who are like, I don't know why you're not busy, you know, or bigger. And I've had one person say, it's because of your politics, GBIRL. You don't agree with like the overarching Twitch politics, and so a lot of these younger folks aren't going to follow you because you don't validate them. And it's like, you know what? That's fine. I can't live stream if I can't be who I really am.
Right.
I can't do it. So Twitch is, I think live streaming is more for me and connecting with my viewers. I think YouTube is becoming my main business as far as content creation goes, because I can teach people on YouTube and it's going to be about teaching them.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I feel the same way about Twitch. They so they'll ban people for words, but they'll allow simulated sex because
they typically don't ban for words. To be technical, you can say simp and incel. You just can't call someone a simp and an incel. You can talk about it, but you can't go harass somebody.
Right.
They rescinded that immediately after the backlash. But yes, the softcore porn is an issue.
Right. What you're saying is that it's.
I think there's only one word that's truly banned on the platform, and we all know what that is.
Right. And it's, for me, this is what happens when you try to manage closeness at scale. Is that the people who do the craziest stuff, who chase the most clout with the most drama, they end up creating policies for those people to rein them in that end up affecting the other 90% of people who don't do that. They have a community, and then like, what bugs me most about Twitch is that they have known about some of these issues. For example, the DMCA. They have known DMCA is coming for years. They have known. It wasn't a magical out of the blue concept when they got a bunch of takedown notices, and they went back and banned people for clips that were 3 years old. Yes. Or they took that down, and whereas you have, in
spite of different directions, they said if you delete your VODs now, you will be okay. And not everyone got banned. Broman used to have amazing music on his stream.
Yeah,
it was all the '80s stuff that I grew up on.
Exactly,
and he's still there,
right? As
far as I know.
And so I've dealt with a couple of takedown requests on Facebook. I streamed there a couple times, and I had a takedown request on my video for 6 seconds of a song. And
really?
Yes, I literally had to tell Facebook, I have license for this music. Here's the license. It's 6 seconds. So what you have are these bots crawling all over the internet trying to figure out, and it's either
Bots need to go.
yeah, the bots need to go away.
Yeah.
I honestly have not streamed on Twitch in almost 3 months simply because I
Well,
am
you
like,
saw what they did to Metallica.
yes, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding. I
And I think they own all their music too. So doing the live performance on Twitch, they were totally within their legal bounds. They have the right to do it, but Twitch, for those of you who don't know, I forgot if it was an NFL thing or whatever, but they did a performance on Twitch. Metallica did, which is kind of ironic. And I do
Yeah.
love Metallica. Full disclosure.
I do Metallica too.
They were on the front page for obvious reasons. It was a huge event, and the minute Metallica started playing, Twitch put some really stupid music over it.
Right. Right.
And I think honestly, I don't think that was in goodwill or in the best interest of protecting Twitch. I think Twitch targets specific people to get even with them. And you can see that in how they enforce their ban policy. A lot like Broman's still streaming, even though he could technically be banned if they do the retroactive strikes, which they have done for some people. They're not fair in how they police their platform, for lack of a better word.
Well,
and that's what a lot of your YouTube creators have an issue with. A lot of these YouTube creators who dog on Twitch, it's because of the inconsistency and the favoritism that happens on the platform. And there's obvious favoritism.
There is obvious favoritism because Twitch has turned into an extension of high school for some of these people. Some of these people got picked on and bullied in high school, and now that they have a little bit of authority, a little bit of power, they start swinging their Johnsons all over the place.
Or they find notoriety in playing the victim card, and I think that's the biggest thing with some of these content. They're really not good, but because they belong to a certain group of people, and they're demonstrating a struggle on stream, you have a lot of people who identify with that struggle who are supporting them and throwing money at them, and that's their power. Their power isn't in authenticity; it's in playing a role to take advantage of other people who can share in that suffering. It's sad. It's sad.
It is sad. It is, and then on the back end, you have people at Twitch who use their position of authority to get favors. There have been multiple stories about Twitch partnership managers taking advantage of streamers and sexting them.
Well, and vice versa. I think a lot of these streamers are not the victims. Look, guys, there's a lot of narcissists on Twitch who prey on other people. And a lot of these people do rise to those higher positions. And when we look at these women who are doing the softcore porn, some of them are interesting when you start looking at their personalities. And others who were dogged on, were treated as terrible people, are not really that bad when you start to really look into who they were and what the situations were around what they said. It's interesting. Good people are often made out to be bad people on Twitch, and bad people are often hoisted, even by Twitch themselves. The person who tried to cancel me last year, I reported them to Twitch for harassment and for distributing my content without my permission, because they clipped part of my stream to make me look like I said something I didn't. And I found out later on from someone who's in my community that Twitch had offered them a front page after that. I was like, really? And you know, Gothix on YouTube?
Yes.
She's a political commentator. She used to be a big time Twitch streamer. Yep. The exact same thing happened to her.
Yep.
She said that on her live stream a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That happened to me last summer. The exact same thing.
Yep.
Twitch will hoist people up who harass others. They will give them front page access, even if they are harassing other streamers. What do we do about that? Well, guys, I'm still using Twitch. It pays my internet bill. It helps me to continue content creation, but I am slowly moving my operation over to YouTube. And that's what I think a lot of your more quality streamers are going to be doing, is moving to YouTube. Because a lot of the stuff that's popular on Twitch won't get views on YouTube. They won't.
And
you got to actually provide quality content on YouTube.
I think it spoke volumes when somebody like Harris Heller said, he basically said, I'm done with Twitch.
Same with Devin Nash. Yeah, done. They don't like the stuff that's happening right now.
No, you have people who have cultivated these communities over years.
They make a ton of money too on Twitch.
They make
tons of money.
They make a lot of money on Twitch. They contributed value back to the community tenfold. They have cultivated a lot of authority. And then you have...
Now, hold on just a sec. I want the audience to understand authority, Bill, as I'm taking it, is not like, oh, they boss people around. The authority is that they are authority figures in the sense that we go to them for advice.
Yes.
They have authority on topics because of their success. Okay, Bill.
Yeah. And that's...
A lot of people don't understand that.
Right. And that is a very fair clarification. They have... I guess authority is not the best word. They have cultivated...
The perfect word. People just need to learn it.
Right. They have cultivated credibility in the community. I guess a good way to put that.
Yep.
But you have people like Devin Nash and Harris Heller. You have Gothics who make great content, but because they don't fit the vibe that Twitch says they want, they get ignored and pushed aside. And then you have people like, ferociously...
Devin Nash is a consultant for Twitch. And he's also the agent for a lot of these huge Twitch streamers. Make no mistake. He's also on Trainwreck's weekly talk show that's in the middle of the night. So Devin Nash has his hand firmly in all of this, but
yes,
he himself has chosen not to stream because of it. Also, his girlfriend is a Twitch streamer.
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole right now. We
don't need to talk about that. That's a fascinating situation.
But stuff like that, and then on the flip side, you have people like Ferociously Steph. Ferociously Steph got appointed to...
I know that name. She's the deer lady.
Yes, she's the deer lady.
Okay. I know that name.
She got appointed to some Twitch committee that was more ceremonial than anything and no real authority, and she literally got drunk on power on stream. I'm gonna ban you, you're gonna get it.
She said things that should have banned her from the platform.
Exactly.
100%, and she's still there because of her ideology.
Exactly. She 100% should be removed from the committee, removed from the platform, and told that's not acceptable. But because of who she is, because of how she identifies, that's okay. And that is the reason that I'm loathing Twitch. I have looked into Glimish. I have interviewed.
Glimish is so tiny.
It is.
I checked in on it the other day because I thought about streaming to it.
Right.
The rollout was bad. I was going to stream to it.
Yes.
Immediately,
it was very bad.
But then I didn't get my code until a week later, and I'm like, it's too late, guys. So I'm fully removing Glimish from everything.
I have tried a couple different times. I keep on having technical issues with them, and I'm like, the most important part of any process is when you're starting something new is the onboarding, and their onboarding is not very good, and that can be a lot of things. But I've looked at Glimish, I've looked at Trovo. Trovo is kind of like a simplified version of Twitch.
They're owned by that Chinese company, right?
Yes.
Tencent.
Yes.
That's why I won't do Trovo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there are so many platforms out there, but
I think Trovo is a better option when it comes to the third tier. I would call them third tier too.
Yes.
I would call Facebook Gaming second tier.
Okay.
There are people who make a killing off of Facebook Gaming, but honestly, I think most gamers don't want to be where you have to use your real name. And a lot of them don't like Facebook. I don't like Facebook either. Facebook has been, especially now with all the censorship, like, forget Facebook. Twitter, I just play on it. But it's not, if you want actual updates, you need to be on my YouTube, my Discord, or my Twitch. Those are my primary social media.
So from all of this that we're talking about, these issues with Twitch, we seem to have a common ground where, if you really want to make content and turn it into something viable, it's more likely that you should be on YouTube. So at what point do you think that Twitch starts, or has it even started already, but we haven't realized it? What is the point at which Twitch starts to a decline?
I think it's already declining. I haven't looked at the numbers. Do you have the numbers for Twitch?
I do not.
Damn. Wow, neither one of us looked up the numbers for Twitch.
We are so unprepared. But
Yowza.
I just think that how am I going to phrase this? it seems like to me that when you start allowing softcore porn on your platform under the umbrella of empowerment, I have to breathe here when I hear that word, and I see when I see Alinity, when I see Indie Fox, when I see Amaranth, and they're clothed. Don't get me wrong. Okay, they're clothed appropriately according to how Twitch's terms of service.
It's soft porn. It's what you would see in Maxim.
It is, and why has that infected a gaming platform? And people will say, "Oh, you just can't handle women being, strong in who they are." It's like, why do you have to? Why do you have to act like a whore?
If you're showing off your body, you are not a strong woman, and you don't know who you are, because your product is your body. Your body is not who you are. Now, yes, I show cleavage sometimes, but there's also a rule where if you show cleavage, you don't show leg. If you show leg, you don't show cleavage. It's called having some class, but being sexy at the same time.
Got it.
Then you have porn, and that's what we have. It's soft porn. And now, Amaranth is interesting. She is represented by Devin Nash as well. And I do agree with him on the... Well, he's had a lot of integrity in this situation, where they shouldn't be allowing hot tub streaming because of how it affects women like me who are smaller streamers who don't do that stuff.
Right.
You're coming to my stream not for porn.
Mm-hmm.
You may think I'm pretty, but you're not going to stay there because you think I'm pretty. You're going to stay there because you connect with the content and the community. Right. And that's exactly what every Twitch stream should be about, the content and the community. And the issue I have with this is not, I don't want to associate with soft porn. If I wanted to associate with porn, I would just go to OnlyFans. I'm sure there's a market for someone like me. Mm-hmm. Different strokes for different folks. But that's not my gig. I don't do that. I feel like I would be devaluing myself if I did that. And I feel like my platform is being devalued because of that. We had that court case, that guy who's filed hundreds of court cases against Twitch because he hurt himself, having relations with himself, watching a bunch of female streamers, and he tried to say it was Twitch's fault. He lost. This guy has a mental illness. It was entertaining to read about, though. But that's on the customer, not on us. And guys, you guys are customers if you're viewers.
We are.
Take your money where it matters, right? Don't support people who you don't like. Don't harass them if you don't like them. Just walk away. But what was he saying? Soft porn. The other issue I have is my community is more for adults, although I've been trying to stop swearing. I am getting way better, but it comes in waves.
Right.
Sometimes when I'm playing with my Call of Duty crew, who are half of us are veterans, we do get into the mode and things fly. But I do have 13-year-olds come into my stream from time to time, and I don't think it's appropriate for them to think that. I don't think it's appropriate to glorify swearing to these kids. I also don't think kids should be exposed to sexual topics. Not at all. I think kids need to. When you look at people who are stable and mentally healthy and not on medication, these people grew up in stable frameworks. They had two parents. They were not abused. And there's a particular kind of abuse that I'm finding a lot of my friends on Twitch have suffered through as kids. And it has greatly shaped who they are and what they're struggling with today. And it's sad. It's really sad that they are less stable adults because someone chose to harm them as a child. And I would say that if you're someone who was mistreated in that way, sex abuse, I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's rampant in our society, and now we're trying to groom kids for sex. It's a travesty. Do not be that person on Twitch. It is your responsibility to create a safe place for children on Twitch. It is a gaming platform first and foremost. And while I do talk about adult issues, we aren't what's the word? We're going to talk about it in a way that still can bring honor back to the issue. Yeah. It's not, I'm not going to be in your face and just inappropriate just for the sake of being inappropriate. I think there are a lot of people who belong to some of these marginalized groups who think it's okay to be that way because they are growing and drawing people in, but they're teaching people that it's okay to have this behavior that people in the real world are going to reject you for. This is a microculture on Twitch. And if
Yeah.
you don't know how to act, you're going to go out in the real world and you're going to wonder why people don't want to talk to you, don't want to be
Right.
your friend. It's because of how you talk to them. You need to learn how to have class and honor, and that includes how you treat your body. Stop posting your freaking tatas, your TNA on Twitch or Twitter. Stop it. Stop it. I don't want to see that crap. If you really want to have confidence in your body as a woman, develop your soul, develop your personality. That's where your confidence comes from. I did not become body confident by showing people my TNA. And I'm a bigger girl. I don't have the body of a lot of these girls who do that. Confidence comes in developing who you are as a person. Nothing will, honestly, if you want to feel good about your body, find a man who's going to treat you right and who loves you for who you are. Then you'll get that body confidence. That's really what it comes down to. But you need to develop yourself as a person first. And that's what we're lacking on Twitch. Women who just don't know how to treat themselves. Plain and simple.
And GBIRL, you have been you have come with the strong takes. You have been enlightening the entire time, and I am grateful that we connected through gaming. Destiny 2 was our first first connection. I would definitely like to play some Warzone with you sometime. I am for as trash as I am in Destiny 2 PvP, I am worse in Warzone, if that's actually
All about
possible.
strategy.
That's the thing. I struggle with Warzone for a very specific reason. I don't know the map very well, and I don't know my angles, and that's why I need a teammate who can say they're going to be on that building in that window. Watch it, and you're like, okay, got it. And then you have a sniper bullet fly by your head. Oh yeah, that's where they are. You're right. Anyway. Thank you very much for making time for me today. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
It has been fabulous. I will definitely, I've already written it down. Here's the magic piece of paper right here. Great quotes to pull. It's listed on the overlay right there. You are on twitch.tv/GBIRL, at die_bear on Twitter. If they want to find you on YouTube, is it the same?
I'm not partnered, so I don't have a personal URL yet.
Got it.
And it's kind of hard to find me. But yeah, if you go to my Twitch page, or I have a pinned tweet on my Twitter profile that has a link to YouTube. Click on that. I think I'm using a goo.gl grandfathered link. They don't do goo.gl anymore, but they let me keep it. So that'll take you to YouTube.
Got it.
And yeah, subscribe. Liking and commenting on my videos helps grow them. YouTube is becoming my main platform. It's a great community. And I really enjoy chatting with people there, even when I got to set them straight, and they're just funny. The comments are great. I love it.
And you will set them. You will 100% set them straight. That's one of the reasons that I enjoy talking with you. Is that yes, we disagree. You and I disagree on things. We definitely have different experiences. But the fact that I know exactly where I stand with you is absolutely fabulous. Great conversation about various platforms. I'm pretty sure we came to a conclusion that Twitch is kind of fading, and the place to go for your overall content offering is YouTube, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're actually interested in legit content, YouTube is a great place to go. And I love the comments that are like, "Hey, can you do a video on this?" I had someone request videos on like gaming commentary on like issues that's going on, and that led to the Bear Truth series that I just started. And we started off with 3 interviews with 3 different people on the state of Destiny. And I do want to branch that out. I was going to start a podcast with 2 of my friends, but just everyone's so busy and we can't get schedules lined up. And I'm going to start working in September.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. I had an interview yesterday and got the job offer like 5 hours or 4 hours later. It's funny.
Nice.
But I think I'm going to take the questions that we put there and put that towards doing some more interviews. So I'll be looking for folks to talk with, and it's fun talking about real issues like this.
Awesome. Thank you.
That'll be on YouTube.
That'll be YouTube. Check out GBIRL on YouTube. Twitch.tv/GBIRL. It's on the overlay. GBIRL, thanks for making time for me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day, Bill.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Please do like, share, subscribe. Check out GBIRL.com for the audio versions where you can download all this stuff to your phone and listen to it. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you for tuning in today. You can find links to everyone on the show in the description below. Check out Bill the Conqueror on Twitch and Twitter to stay up to date on his thoughts and ideas about gaming culture.